It's time to get the latest on the green and gold as we go in the huddle. In the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle is brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Now, here's Bill Scott and Green Bay tight end D.J. Williams.
Exactly. I did feel the sense, and I'm sure you did too. You know, when you don't play as well as you'd like to play, you're disappointed. When you lose, because you know you could have played better, and you hate leaving on that note. But you know, you play better next time.
Well, that's the plan. Yeah. You know, there is a tomorrow. We got the Cardinals next. Let's do this thing.
Mike McCarthy said he said he told you guys today in the locker room that he wanted you to stop walking around acting like you lost a game.
Yeah, he told us I want y'all to smile while y'all walk around here. I mean, it was a little tough because watching film, you know, they critiqued us very, what's the word I'm looking for? They were very detailed in what they said we did wrong and not what we did right in the game. And so it was kind of mixed signals. You know, he's over here getting on us, and he's like, but I need you to smile. We're just like, I don't know if that's like a test. Do we need to be serious or do we need to smile? Are we going to put this game behind us? You know, but he seems cool about it.
Well, I think after that fake field goal thing that he called, I mean, if anybody needs to just smile and laugh one off, it'd be the coach.
Yeah.
That was the worst play call I've ever seen.
No comment on that.
I mean, now, it might have worked. If it would have worked, it would have been pretty good.
That would have been great. That means I would have probably scored a touchdown. So, I mean.
And it was your direction, too, wasn't it?
It was coming, too. I saw it, and I was like, I don't think that's going to quite make it, you know. But, oh, well.
Well, he threw the wrong hand to start with.
He threw his wrong hand?
Yeah.
He's left-handed.
I know.
Oh,
still the wrong hand.
Doesn't matter. Yes, fair enough.
The term winning ugly was tossed around quite a bit yesterday, and it wasn't just by the media. I mean, the players were tossing it around quite a bit, too. And, you know, again, a win is a win, but...
Yeah. It's a lot better than looking good and losing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, but you feel like that, though? You feel like you won ugly yesterday?
I mean, I felt like we did what we needed to do as a football team in all phases of the game to help each other out, because that's what it comes down to. Some games your offense may be on, defense off, vice versa, or if you need special teams to help the team out. I mean, it was a full team effort to win that football game, and that's what we did, and we came out on top. So I don't think anyone can complain about anything if they're a Packer fan.
A lot of players after the game said they felt they lacked energy. Like everybody was flat. Now, maybe not everybody, but there were certain players. Clay Matthews said it.
He did.
Honest to goodness. I was a little...
That's crazy.
And he said even the fans were flat. Even the fans lacked energy.
Yeah. They didn't have a lot of time to drink. It was a noon game. That's a big difference,
yeah.
You know?
Either that or he started early and fell asleep by the time the game kicked off.
But, you know? And
you know, I guess the reason I bring that up because I'm interested in what you think the role of the fan really is. Because there's two ways, and I think they both come into play. One is that the fans react to what they see. Mm-hmm. And when they see the product on the field, and you guys give them a few good plays to cheer about, they'll generally get going and stay going the rest of the game. If you don't give them a lot to start with, they're going to kind of sit on their hands and wait for you to do something. Now that's theory number one.
Yeah.
The other part of it, though, is when, you know, let's say the Packers defense has got their backs, you know, near the goal line or, you know, inside the red zone, and the opposition is trying to make a charge. I think at that point, and I didn't see a lot of this from the fans yesterday, I'll be honest, maybe this is where Clay is coming from.
Yeah.
I think at that point is, as much as the fans haven't had a lot to cheer about up to that point, they need to take it upon themselves to get up and make noise. Because I'll tell you one thing.
It helps.
You had a 1-5, now a 1-6 football team. You know, so a 1-5 football team coming in, they're 1-5 for a reason. They're not real good. Mm-hmm. All right? And they didn't have any false start penalties all day. Normally you get that because the crowd is on the road when the crowd is really noisy. And when you got those, the big stadium edition there, you're backed into a corner. They should have felt a little bit. They should have struggled to get the snap counts off more. Maybe had a false start penalty here and there. And they didn't have that. And I didn't sense that the fans ever put any loud volume into the game at the key times when they had the football in those stretches. So maybe that's where Clay's coming from. I thought it was a 50-50 split. I thought the fans could have done a little better job. I thought the players could have done a little better job to get the fans going.
Yeah, I mean, I completely, I can agree and disagree with everything, or, be in the defense of the fans of, a 1-5 team coming in the Lambeau Field when you got players like Aaron Rodgers, Clay Matthews on the field, and a Green Bay team that is better than their record is showing, that expectations or that we're going to win this game, So, I mean, but you flip the script, say it's the Super Bowl, and you're playing whoever, like the Steelers, and it's the opening kickoff, and if it was at Lambeau, the people would be going crazy. And it was at noon, so they hadn't had time to get drunk. So, I mean, it all kind of plays into – it's tough. I mean, it's even tough for players to, wake up at 6 and play a game at noon. I mean, but – we just, I don't know, got to get a contract with Red Bull, start drinking them things before the game, or, getting amped up and ready to roll.
And I got to tell you, and if they're not drunk by the time they walk into the stadium, then they see those $10 beer prices, then they don't feel like they really want to get drunk.
Yeah,
until they can get back outside and get their own stuff back out.
They should lower the prices for alcohol on noon games.
Yes, they should.
Yeah, there we go. Problem solved.
What's missing from the running game?
Oh, man.
I mean, is it really kind of just a combination of, a little of this, a little of that, and if everything comes together, it'll get better?
I'd say that, and I feel like sometimes we may be a little bit too relaxed or in a comfortable state with how good Aaron is when it comes to throwing the football, because we feel like he can get us out of a jam, and we feel like if the run isn't working, then he can throw the ball, which he's proven, and we got receivers to make plays, but I'm not saying that because we understand if we can add a great running game to what he can do with throwing the ball, then we're almost unstoppable on offense. And just watching film, it's just a couple inches of a block here or there from springing the big one. So, I mean, we just need to quit talking about it and get it done.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got plenty more to come. Including your fullback assignment.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. But when we come back, we'll meet our special guest tonight. In the Huddle continues from Tanner's and Kimberly after this on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle continues from Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill in Kimberly. Transportation for our guests during the season is brought to you by L&S Classic Limousine Service. Personal professional service for all occasions. Call Lenny or Sue at 920-730-8297. In the Huddle is brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. And we're back with DJ Williams. And time to meet our special guest tonight in his first season out of the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the 7th round. He's quarterback B.J. Coleman.
B.J. Coleman. Appreciate you guys having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You started out at Tennessee. Redshirted for a year, played sparingly the next year, and then you transferred. Why'd you make the move?
Yeah, I had a great opportunity to play for my home state school up there for the Vols. They had a staple in a coaching, Coach Philip Fulmer and David Cutcliffe as the offensive coordinator, who I'm sure many of you guys have heard of Peyton and Eli Manning, and he was the one who kind of got to mold those guys and get them to the next level. So it was a blessing to be able to go there. And then over that 2 years there, I learned a lot from those guys, a lot of football, a lot of ways to do, really start becoming a professional player, and that was huge. But those guys moved on, and they brought in another coach, and at that time I decided to slide back down to Chattanooga for my remaining 3.
Yeah. I tell you, I bumped into BJ before. We met before we actually got – he don't remember because – he does not remember, I'm sorry. But I was on a recruiting trip to Tennessee. It was the weekend they played Florida. And, I'm just a little Arkansas boy coming in. They wanted me to play defensive end, just a little high school player. But B.J. Coleman was in town. Like, everybody was freaking out. Like, I had this, real cute recruiting girl who's going to, persuade me to come to college just because how good she looks, talking to me, until B.J. Coleman walked by and she kind of said, okay, I got to run. I was like, okay, well, whatever, and
he's lying.
He runs over to B.J. and he was like, he was the man that weekend. Like, he would walk by, girls would start fainting, it's like, like a Guns N' Roses concert in the 80s. It was nuts.
I don't know what he's talking about.
No cocaine, though. It was just, we had like water and sweet tea. It was good stuff.
It was a fun time.
Your dad was an offensive lineman at Chattanooga, and your brother, Jared, played there at the same time you were quarterback.
That's correct. My dad played there in the late 70s.
How many times did you hook up with your brother?
Well, Jared actually got hurt prior to the season. He was a true freshman. I was a fifth-year senior, and he got hurt prior to the season and was unable to play. But he is a tight end, and that would have been a pretty special deal. Yeah. But first time we ever actually in our lifetime got to play on the same football team, so that was kind of cool just to have him in the locker room.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool, and it would have been interesting to see how many times, had he been healthy, you would have forced the ball to him just because he's your brother,
Hey, look, he's a heck of an athlete.
Yeah. And how did the rest of his career go?
Jared's actually still there. He's only a redshirt freshman this year. Okay. He's got 4 left. And he's doing very well. Very well. He's a very, very smart player. He's a little bit more physical. He's a bigger guy. He's about 6'5", 245 pounds. So, that's his game. He's a physical guy. A lot like DJ over here. He goes at it, plays a lot of fullback. They do a lot of motioning with him, kind of like an H-back type thing.
Nasty.
Oh, yeah, they have to go down there and dig in the trenches a little bit, so it teaches them a little bit.
I'll tell you, BJ, a question that probably a lot of people are wondering. I have a lot of hot tub sessions with clothes on with Donald Driver, usually before practice, and because I need to get warmed up. He obviously needs to get warmed up. He's put up, and you always notice how they comment about his age every time he makes a play.
Yeah.
It's a 37-year-old Donald Driver. I think he looks great, and he moves good too. Anyway, we're talking. He's just like,
you look great too if you'd remember the ball.
I know, right? It'd be nice.
Oh man.
Of course, Bill's gonna throw a stab out there, but
talk about one of my tight ends.
I think I think it just had to come out once. And if it comes out again, it's gonna be out of your mouth, not mine. So.
Yeah, I mean it hurt, man. You know how many. Oh. I won't talk about it. It's part of it. So anyway, Driver's talking, and he can this man right here. He's just like I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that he's like this is like the next Brett Favre. I don't know. I don't know how that name works for people around here, but the camo hat, the Levi jeans, and they said the way he can throw this ball is unbelievable. He may have the strongest arm on the team.
Well, I don't know. It's an honor even to be mentioned in the same sentence, but I actually had an opportunity to work with Brett coming up through the combine. I worked out down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and you know what? He's got a lot of passion for the Green Bay Packers, and he loved his time here, but he is a true man's man, and he knows the game in and out, and really he can still throw a football just like he could when he got in this thing, and just to be able to work with a legend like him and have an opportunity to learn just kind of the ins and outs of just being a professional, and learning kind of how he handled his business is very interesting.
When you first came into training camp and after the draft and the mini camps and stuff, if you were nervous, you didn't show it.
Well, as a quarterback, your persona is to lead, and you're going to have a lot of guys, whether or not you believe in it or not. You're going to walk into a huddle, you're going to have 20 eyes looking back at you, and you're going to have to lead those guys down the field some way or another. And I've done it many, many times at many different levels. And it's just like riding a bike. Once you get back in there, you get back up on it, and you feel it, and you go. And that's important. You want those guys to have a lot of confidence in you. And if you got all 11 guys on the same page, you could be wrong, but you're going to be right, because all 11 guys will be on the same page.
Confidence is a big thing for a quarterback, I feel like. And we stay in the same apartment, condo complex, whatever you may call it, downtown, and we like to venture off and hang out. We're young, single guys, And
that we are.
We'll go downtown, and that's probably like the worst person. If I'm trying to go look real cute and try to pick someone up, I make sure I leave B.J. at home, you know, because
I knew he was jealous.
Because if I talk to any girl, here comes Mr. Tennessee. You know, oh, hey, honey, you know, I think you look real cute in that with that little accent you talking in. You know, just
they like the Southern drawl.
How do you compete with that, you know? And he puts on his boots. You wear boots?
I do wear boots.
Yeah, he wears boots. He can't compete with that. Jeez.
Sorry, man. I'll just stay home next time.
So how's your first NFL training camp?
Camp was great. You know, you come in and your feet just hit the ground running. I mean, you know, you got to get thrown in there, and you know, having a guy like Aaron and being able to watch how he handles himself, how he prepares. Preparation's huge. Coach really hit on it hard today. Players are for preparation and production. And, you know, to watch him prepare, study his charts and film study and really the personnel that we have and how he really molds it all together through audibles and different techniques is really impressive, you know. But like he told me several times, I actually share a locker real close to him. I'm right next to him. And, you know, I've looked at him several times, like I have DJ and many of the other guys, and be like, man, was your head ever spinning? You know, were you ever at a point where you're like, oh my gosh, can I do this?
Yeah.
And he said, BJ, I'll tell you right now, he said, my first preseason game here, I threw 2 picks and had a fumble. He said, they pulled me out, I didn't play the rest of the preseason. And he said, I'll tell you what, man, he said, you really gotta mold and gel into this offense because, you know, it's something that, you know, when you leave here, if you have an opportunity to go to another team, be a starter, you can play in any offense. You know, a lot of teams, you come in there, it's a play call, it's a play run. You know, we're best play available, best play option type team. We can go out there, we can call a play in the huddle, and these guys will be so cerebral because they got to look at us and be able to say, okay, did he give a signal? Did he change the play? Did he change the protection?
It's very complex.
What's the route down the field? You know, what's the coverage to the route down the field? So they got to understand kind of how we're thinking so they can go out there and still play fast and also think.
Is it anywhere nearly as complicated in college? I mean, do you get some preparation for that?
You know, you really cannot compare it at all. From the quarterback position, you know, from the quarterback position in particular, you know, is it to go out there and really learn an offense in such detail as they do here. It's very incomparable. I mean, it's unbelievable.
When we get into the next segment, we're going to get a blow-by-blow detail of what a precision tight end like DJ Williams is,
nice.
and what it's like.
He's sucking up now.
And what it's like to load up and block some of the biggest men in the NFL. Because he had to do that, a little bit of that yesterday. In fact, he had to do a lot of that yesterday. So we'll find out more about that when we return. Tanner's in Kimberly. It's in the huddle. Back with more after this on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle continues from Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill in Kimberly. And it's brought to you each and every week by Mills Fleet Farm. Back with DJ Williams and our special guest, B.J. Coleman. 24-15, the Packers knock off Jacksonville. Well, DJ got a little bit different type of assignments, you know, with the injury situation, wide receiver and everything else going on. There were a couple of extra roles that you were going to have to play, and I'll let you explain.
That Kuhn was down. John Kuhn, that is. They asked me to step up and take over the punt protection responsibility, which is a huge responsibility because, as you can see, what a block punt can do to a change of a game.
Right.
But I felt like I handled it pretty good. You know, a lot of practice. I've always told Slocum, our special teams coach, I was like, man, just throw me in a fullback whenever you want. You know, I knew Kuhn, his percentage of playing the game is usually 100%. It's like, oh, I don't have to worry about it. And sure, he goes down. He's like, hey, remember you told me you can play? I was like, all right, great, you know. So of course, I go out there, and they really didn't do any tricky stuff. I'm glad. And as far as the offense goes, I was lined up at fullback a lot. And I remember they were interviewing me a little bit before the game started about the mindset you have to be a fullback. And I told them it's a different ball game. You know, you can't be all finesse like a tight end receiver. You have to kind of get nasty. You have to grunt. You know, you have to run through the line of scrimmage, farting and stuff. You know, I was just making up all kind of stuff. And then I get in the game, and the first play is a lead up on a linebacker. And, it's like he knew I was coming. I mean, it's unbelievable. So he's running full speed at me. I'm running full speed at him. We're both yelling. And we hit each other, and I literally farted. I mean, I thought I was just kidding, but it's real stuff. My hat's off to John Kuhn. I wonder how many times he farts a game. It's a different ballgame.
Some people blow snot bubbles. Some people fart.
And I remember the next play we lined up in it was at a Tiger personnel. It's 2 tight end set, left, divide left. I'm supposed to be in line with my hand in the dirt like a tight end. But that hit was so hard, I'm split out like a receiver. I was like, I didn't even remember until I watched the film today. So big respect for John Kuhn.
I bet you're the kind of guy that sits quietly in the meeting room and lets them go one right after another. Just sits and giggles and grins, huh?
I'm really good at those real silent ones, so no one can prepare their nose for what's coming. And I like to sit back and watch and see who's gonna snap their neck back a little bit, like a whoo.
Pretty soon they got their shirt up over their nose.
B.J. Williams, everyone.
Not as bad as Josh Sitton.
Oh,
you talk about a toxic fart. I know he could have ended the war in Iraq. Where were we? Afghanistan or something like that. Bin Laden would have had a chance.
Yeah, I don't think with Josh Sitton, I don't think it really matters if it's silent, quiet or not quiet.
It's bad. Oh, it's bad.
Aaron Rodgers with 18 touchdowns over the last 5 games, most by a Packers quarterback. He also moved past Bart Starr into second place with his 153 career touchdown passes. So some more good numbers for Aaron Rodgers. How about the job Morgan Burnett did yesterday at the safety position? Got a lot of time in there with Charles Woodson out, and he had a pretty big statistical day. He was up near the line of scrimmage. He was, he had a sack. He had a forced fumble. He did a lot of stuff yesterday.
He's showing up, and he's a very physical presence. Even in training camp, he was that guy that if I ran a route and practice was kind of amped up live, if I ran towards his side, I always had to keep my head on a swivel. I mean, he has that presence on the field, and that's huge for our team. And I even remember last year when he had the cast on his hand, having interceptions and stuff. So he's a future star, bright star in the making, and I'm excited to see how he goes.
You know what we've said about people that come on the show, usually good things happen to them.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about this week.
Devon House, last week was on the show, and what does he do? He blocks the punt.
As soon as he blocked that punt, he ran to me on the sideline. I kid you not. And he was like, DJ, are you serious right now? I was just like, I got to come on your show every week, And I had his wife text me we'll be back next week. I promise we'll be there. I was like, I can't, I got to do a different guest every week. So, all right, this will be good. I mean, not wishing anything bad on anyone.
No.
What's going to happen this week with BJ here?
Well, he is on the practice squad, so maybe
he gets called up.
Maybe he gets called up and signed to an active contract.
Yeah, that'd be great. My buddy is actually here. I don't know. My cow tipping escapades. He was with me. He's here from Arkansas right now. Did he encourage you,
or did you encourage him?
We encourage each other. That's how we work. And he was up here, and he said, Aaron's probably going to come down with the flu. BJ's going to go in, throw for 700 yards. I didn't say this. He said it. I'm just I mean, if that happens, I guarantee you I'll have people coming begging to be on the show.
I guarantee you BJ will want to be back again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no question about that. Yeah, you're probably about 5 or 6 years late on the scene in the NFL in terms of a third quarterback, because about that long ago, a third quarterback, there weren't too many teams that only kept 2. They would have all 3 active and signed, and it's not the worst thing in the world. Now a lot of teams have the third quarterback just inactive because they value the other positions and special teams so much. But what's it like being that guy who is the practice squad guy, but you're so much potentially in the future plans of the organization?
Yeah, it's something that quarterback's a very unique position in itself, and that you do a lot of preparation, a lot of study, and only one guy gets to play. And usually it's not one of those things where you rotate them in and out. Mm-hmm. You pray that you get one and he can stick through the whole year and stays healthy and things roll, and you get a lot of chemistry between the guys, and that's great. But in all reality, 3 guys is about the minimum I would say that you would want around the team. That way, if something happened to your starter, you got a guy that can come in as your backup and play, and then you got a guy that's right behind him in case something was to happen to him. So 3 guys I would say is necessary, just so that they're in the system, they understand it, they can walk right in and at least have a base line so that they could come in and be successful, or at least give your team a chance to move the football down the field. But it's something that you stay hungry. You stay hungry. You want to work. You want to do well. You want to make the team. All that stuff is pretty standard. But I think in this offense in particular, with the history of the Green Bay Packers, when you look at people, even as far back as Mark Brunell for the Jacksonville Jaguars several years back, the old lefty, and Aaron Brooks for the Saints at one point, and Matt Hasselbeck for the Titans now, Favre, Flynn, Rodgers himself. Graham is in that stage right now, and I'm just walking in. I mean, you see a lot of success there. So, that's something that's always very positive. And you keep that vision in your sights, and you keep moving forward.
Yeah, when you've got a good quarterback coach like Mike McCarthy is, you put the nose to the grindstone, and you don't worry about the fact that Aaron Rodgers isn't going anywhere for the next decade. You just worry about learning and getting better, and when the time is ready, there will be an opportunity someplace.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. There's a lot of times this position, if one guy goes down, on another team, you have 32 football teams, and you're going to have a lot of. This is a physical game. It was a physical game, even with the new rules and the protections.
Physical.
Yeah. I mean, it really takes a toll, and it's one of those next man up type games. So you got to be ready to go when your opportunity comes.
Do they let you travel?
I do. I travel to every single football game. They told me, they said, look, man, you're that next spot. We just, for our sake, we really value having the extra special teams guy. And I said, I completely understand. I really appreciate the opportunity. And for you being straight up with me, I really appreciate that. And, I can't complain. I'm playing NFL football. So, I've always wanted to do that all my life. And, it's a great opportunity.
He's got the prototypical body type for a quarterback, too. Got a little height, good arm.
No, he's got it. And he's making throws in practice. After that ball comes out, everyone's like, woo, good throw. And maybe a cuss word to express how good that throw was. But, even, Big Mike, McCarthy's like, good ball, B.J. I mean, he's very, the future is bright for B.J. Coleman.
I didn't pay him to say that.
All right, when we come back, our most popular segment of the program. Email. It is the email segment. That's what DJ likes, so what DJ likes, we will do. That's coming up. Justin Hull has that segment when we return. Back with more on the Woodward Radio Network. And we're back at Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill, and the Huddle continues. Brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Let it snow. Granite Peak Ski Area in Wausau is gearing up for an incredible ski season. New this year, Granite Peak welcomes Dasher, a new high-speed quad lift that will service all of the western runs. This now makes 2 high-speed lifts for Granite Peak, a 3-minute ride up the mountain versus a 9-minute ride up the mountain. That's what I'm talking about. The best just keeps getting better. For more information, visit skigranitepeak.com. Back with DJ Williams and B.J. Coleman. And before we get to our email segment, for the second week in a row, DJ Williams is expressing his outstanding generosity and has donated 2 tickets to the
winner of this name in my hat right here. Who's it going to be? BJ picked it out, so it's not my fault. Or it's actually good for someone. The winner is Angie Bosch. Boucher? What is that? Is it Wisconsin?
Angie, we have any Angies in here?
Bosch.
Angie Bosch? Where's...
Oh, draw again. She signed up and then didn't stay.
Left?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was like 3 people that just left.
All right. Lenny threw all the other names away. So...
Go get him, Lenny.
Come on, yeah, go grab a name out of the... Okay, if the name is Lenny, and then it's just coincidence. Go ahead. Look at him. Go ahead and grab another, another name. Wow, Angie, I hope she comes next week.
It probably wasn't a very good idea to tell them to throw those away. All right, here's this one's pulled right out of the trash can.
And she wrote everything. She wrote her Kyle.
Kyle.
Hart, What is that? Is there a cow here? Wow. People just keep leaving.
Let me see that name.
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Hartzheim.
Who's
right.
lucky?
Give us another
3?
one, Lenny.
Jeez.
Come on, Lenny.
This girl put a smiley face on hers. Maybe she...
How do you sign up and then leave, you know?
Yeah.
Well, she put her phone number. She probably thought you were going to call her, DJ.
See what she likes for dinner. All right. Nancy. Wait. Is there a Nancy back there? There you are. Come on up. Oh, well, after the segment, come up and we'll talk, and I'll get you your information
after the segment.
After the segment. Give Nancy a round of applause.
Time now.
Still coming up.
Time now for our email segment. Justin, go ahead.
All right, we'll start with our first question from Zach in Kaukauna. The Pittsburgh Steelers uniforms yesterday, yes or no?
Oh, don't look at me now.
Did you see them? They're throwbacks?
I'm more of an original type guy. I like.
Is that original?
I don't know. That looked a little bit too much going on there
terrible.
for me. It's too busy.
Good night. Yeah, that was.
I actually liked them. I thought they're pretty cool. Yeah.
Wait, who said that? I thought they were terrible. Did they win?
Yes, they did.
Oh, they should have lost.
What about your throwbacks last year, the Powerball uniforms?
That's cool. Yeah, they were pretty cool. You weren't here for them.
No, I wasn't here for them. So
but they made my butt look big, so I guess they were nice.
All right, we'll get to our next question here from Bob in Sheboygan. Your favorite Green Bay Packer cafeteria food?
Those mini corn. What is it?
cornbread.
Yeah, the little cornbread. Oh my gosh, they're so good. You lather them up with some butter and some honey. It's unbelievable. I mean, they probably got it from like Walmart or something.
They do a pretty good job at the sushi too.
Sushi? I haven't tried it there.
The sushi
in the cafeteria.
Little crab, little.
They roll them. I actually watch them roll them.
Yeah, they
up
make
there.
everything right there.
Yeah, this guy with the dreads, probably from the Caribbean. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Bring him in just for the day. Fly him back out afterwards.
Yep.
All right, we'll get to the next question from Michelle in Reedsburg. This is for you, BJ. What is your favorite thing to hunt?
Oh, great question. Great question.
I already know the answer.
Especially because, well, go ahead and answer.
It's not
They must have asked you.
It's not an animal.
Why didn't anyone ask the black guy?
It's not an animal.
They don't think I go hunting.
Oh, come on, enlighten us. Tell us what you hunt.
I've been squirrel hunting before.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
a little pellet gun.
Yeah, I did go with the pellet gun.
Yeah.
Or a little 22.
Little 22.
But what's your favorite thing to hunt?
The only thing I've hunted was squirrel, and my roommate would have a shotgun, you know, so it really didn't work out for me.
No, that's not a good idea.
That's crazy.
No, I'm a big deer fan. I like to hunt whitetail, and being in Wisconsin, I just got a bow sent up this way, so looking forward to checking out the land up here. So looking forward to it.
All right, we'll get to the next question here. I'm kind of curious what you guys will answer to this one. Coming from Fred in Fond du Lac. Greg Jennings, Aaron Rodgers, and Clay Matthews have their endorsement deals. Not sure if you guys have any. How about if you could endorse any product, what would you choose to endorse?
That's a cool question.
Go ahead, BJ.
I think it would be a lot of fun to endorse Matthews, which is the hat that I have on here. I think it'd be pretty cool just to kind of be a spokesperson for them and kind of help talk a little bit about what's going on there. DJ probably could have guessed that, but
For sure. Mine would be Dr. Pepper. I mean, you're talking about 23 flavors, and so every time you drink a Dr. Pepper, it's like the first time.
Look at him auditioning. Look at him.
You know?
You got to take the
It's like
from
somebody
YouTube.
who's been Dr. Pepper sitting out at
I mean, I love Dr. Pepper. I mean, oh my! I mean, I don't drink it as much. I usually drink it with Jack Daniels. I'm sorry, but if it wasn't for, I mean, I try to somewhat stay, you know, healthy and hydrated.
All right, if you like it so much, you should be able to finish the line. I'm a pepper, you're a pepper.
I like my line earlier, the 23 flavors.
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
first
Come on,
time
that's the
was like
slogan, DJ. Let's get with the program, all right? Come on.
Jack Daniels wouldn't be bad to represent.
We're going to continue this. We robbed your time in the beginning, so we are going to continue this segment when we come back. A couple more questions from Justin, our Granite Peak email segment. We are back with more from Tanner's Sports Bar in Kimberly after this on the Woodward Radio Network. And we are back at Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill in Kimberly, brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm is in the huddle. And let's go out and play DJ's favorite game in his favorite segment again.
Email segment.
Extend it a little more of our email segment with Justin Hull.
Hey, just a reminder to inthehuddleshow.com. That's the website. Each and every week you can go there, get the video of the show from last week, and submit your questions there, so you can do it that way. A couple more here. We got Tom and Madison. The night before the draft, where did each of you think you were going?
Want me to take it? I thought I was going to Miami, actually, and I thought that was going to be somewhere close to the second round. I thought they were going to pick up our quarterback, Ryan Mallett, who's with the Patriots, in the first and get me in the second. But it didn't work out like that. I'm glad it didn't. And I think around the fourth round, I got a phone call from the Texans because I was watching TV and they were on the clock. And it was like, DJ, are you ready to be a Texan? You know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, my gosh, I'm like so ready. I'll be down there. I'm going to be the best player that you ever had. And then it was my sister who had this app on her iPhone that changed her voice, you know. And she was in the bathroom. And she was like, David, I'm just kidding. That's what she calls me. David, I'm just kidding. It's me. I was like, this is only like the biggest day in my life. And so, well, she expected for me to get picked up around that time. She was like, oh, it's no big deal. So, like, fourth round goes by, fifth round goes by, you know, and later. I was picked up late in the fifth. And, you know, after every pick, you could see her face like, oh, man, I probably shouldn't have done that. So, yeah, she hasn't got her signing bonus gift yet from brother DJ.
Good thing the rounds are only 5 minutes apart at that point, so.
Yeah, it was terrible. I was ready to fight. I mean, I don't want to talk about it.
How about you, BJ?
Sitting at the house after the combine and everything, and say I broke my hand going into the combine, so I wasn't able to do that. I was actually doing it training down in Hattiesburg, so
doing what?
Yeah, chopping trees with bar. No, I slipped and the finger kind of just got caught up, so it broke. So I wasn't able to throw any at the combine, and they told me, they were like, listen, you know, thinking somewhere between fourth, fifth, sixth round. I thought it was going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, so thank the good Lord I didn't have to wear them uniforms yesterday. but no, but you know, it's like DJ said, it was the best thing that I never want to do again. So I mean, it was a wild day. You know, you never know what's going to happen. You're watching all these guys go, or am I going to go? Am I not going to go? Somebody going to call me? I got a call. It's really funny how it worked out for me. I got a call from the New York Giants 2 minutes before the Packers called me, and the Giants were on the phone, and they go, listen, we're going to let you talk to Tom Coughlin. You know, he really wants to talk to you, and, you know, we don't have any more picks left, but we really want you to be a New York Giant. You're going to come in here, be our third quarterback, you know, have an opportunity to work your way up, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at the TV, and Tom Coughlin comes on the phone. BJ, how you doing? How are you, sir? Good to talk to you. And all of a sudden, I look at my telephone, and a 920 area code pops up.
What is this?
And I look up at the television.
Tom, I gotta go.
Yeah, I look up at the television, and the Packers are on the clock. And thank the good Lord for iPhones, because I probably wouldn't have swapped over. It said Green Bay. I said, all right, Tom, I got to slide. See you, buddy. And I thank the good Lord they took me here, because I was not going to be a Giant after that. But I swapped over, and the rest is history. Ted's like, how's your hand? I said, man, I'm ready to rock and roll. So he said, we're fixing to make you a Green Bay Packer. So to hear those words, it was second to none. Right?
Did you ever talk to him before you came up here?
You know, I talked to him one time. We played in an all-star game. It's called the East-West Shrine Game. It's very similar to the Senior Bowl. Those are the two big ones. Mm-hmm. And went down to St. Petersburg, and Ted showed up there, got an opportunity to shake his hand, and it was pretty special.
How long did that conversation last?
Well, we actually talked for a few minutes. So that was good, but you know,
Tom doesn't talk much, does he?
No, Ted doesn't talk too much. No.
But sorry, Ted. I mean,
that's all right.
You're a great guy.
You work for the organization.
I didn't talk to the Packers at all. Like when they called, I was like, they said the Green Bay Packers. Like, are you messing with me? Or I thought, you know, after what I went through with my sister, I thought I wasn't going to get drafted at all.
It was Brian Narian, the equipment guy, right?
Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
All right. Well, I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we'll pick a winner. How about Michelle in Reedsburg had the question about the hunting? So we'll go ahead and hook her up with the ski pack.
Good job.
Good question.
All right, good job. Nice job, Justin. You know what? That is the best segment in this show. We should just do all email.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
For a whole hour.
For sure.
That'd be all right. So Arizona's next. Second time this year, you get to see your opponent on Monday night.
Yeah, tonight, right?
Yeah.
Who they
You're probably not going to be watching it anyway, right?
No, I'm going to Coco's. Give me some sushi. I mean, I will be at my house watching the Cardinals play to prepare myself to perform at a high level when it comes to Sunday. While eating sushi at Coco's.
Yeah, there you go. It's all right. Patriots 45-7 win over the Rams. They played at Wembley Stadium. Wow. Do you want to go to London? In the middle of the football season?
I'd have been miserable. Mm-hmm. No, I wouldn't have liked it.
I mean, it's probably going to happen somewhere down the road. It may or may not happen before you come or go or whatever.
You think
Could
so?
be 10 years down the road, but I think every team is going to kind of cycle through it.
Yeah.
At some point.
I'd rather go there in the off season, for a trip.
All expense paid deal from the NFL.
Yeah. Let's pretend my name's Clay Matthews and they invite me to go there for free, but I'm not going to play pretend. I'll probably have to pay for it. And I've never been out of the country. I don't even have a passport. So I need to work on that.
You might want to work on that.
Yeah.
Because I see,
or go somewhere illegally.
I can see a lot of traveling.
Live life on the edge.
Here you go. Yeah, maybe you can jump the border.
Yeah.
Going the other way. There's not too many people that usually try to get into Mexico. They're always trying to get out, aren't they?
I like it.
All right. Hey, it's been a lot of fun.
As always.
Yeah. Although we're not quite done yet. I almost jumped it by a minute. So does it seem like we're at the halfway point of the season?
We're getting close. I mean, the bye week coming up.
Now you can stop. There's the music.
Dang. All right, I was going to talk about my Match.com hits I got from last week, but
we'll do that next week. You'll have a lot more. B.J., thanks for coming out. Best of luck to you, all right? B.J. Coleman, ladies and gentlemen, D.J. Williams, so long. We'll see you next Monday night right here at Tanner's in Kimberly on the Woodward Radio Network.